All right, so why do you got that summon rolling? That's the first thing on my mind right here.
You'll see it in like 24 seconds. That's when it will be revealed.
Nice. And then why are you playing? You're playing the Disc Priest on the screen, right? I see it's Arco, so I imagine that's
Yeah.
you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Are you solo
So
healing this?
No, I have a paladin with me. You can see on the right side the healing meter. We do heal most of the run. There you can see we accepted the summon and we're back at the start. So now you'll see that the trash hasn't spawned yet because we did the summoning strategy. I'm gonna send the raid ahead, turning around there, waiting a little bit to see if the trash actually spawns or not. Like we will leave a conch or a trap or a dummy on the floor to try and trigger the trash if it hasn't spawned. But I want to be the last one away so that I can, if it spawns like it did there, I know in the back of my head like they have been triggered, they're on their way. So here we're gonna stop. As you can see, the saturated ooze marked with skull. We're always gonna stop for those because when they die, they spawn a bunch of small little ooze. You'll see on screen now, oozelings. We don't want to run past them, firstly because they run really slow, they move really slowly, and because they spawn these small ones when they die. So we want our AoE, or all of our front-loaded AoE, to be hitting the small oozelings instead of the big one. So that saves time. So we're not having to do like two different iterations of AoE. You'll notice as well that everyone has swapped to rocket boots. And here our feral druid in the third group who missed the summon, he's about to shout at me that there are some respawns behind and he can't get to us. So we finish the trash pack, we go all the way up. Here he shouts at me. I'm like, what the fuck do I do about this? I run down to check if there are any respawns in the stairs. But we decide just, fuck it, we're gonna summon you. We're gonna go to the boss. Here you're gonna see me pop the rocket boots. Everyone else in the raid has already popped theirs at the top of the stairs to reach the boss quicker. You see that I've swapped back to my normal boots now and we engage the boss. Check the left side of the boss. There is the portal that we want to exit from when he's dead, usually. But this reset, he was spawned kind of there, so we have no other option than to kite him away from it. So there's two portals that you can't go through to get into the arena. One of them is that one. The other is the southeast one, which is the one that we will eventually use. Here you can see that the boss is about to be stopped. We're going to take a lot of AoE from him. It's going to be a little bit hectic. Two warriors are going to die and lose their buffs, but that's the risk you run by being melee, right?
Is the druid hopping out of form here a pre-planned thing when the boss gets stopped? So, like I saw that they jumped out of Moonkin right when the DPS got really high on the group.
It's not kind of pre-planned like exactly, but the druid player is a healer player. He plays all three healing specs for Alliance, like not mage. So it is kind of up to him, and I trust him to pick and choose the time when it suits best.
Okay, that
Here
makes sense.
I'm stopping like an idiot because we're considering what the fuck we do with the feral druid who got left behind, as he's still stuck way in the back. But we make the call to just keep going, and the worst case scenario will summon him. But you will see that he manages to get his ass to us. But then his group is going to have been without Wind Fury for quite a long while. You can also see just there that I stack Slow Fall on myself, even though I'm a priest. It's just to save a GCD in case I need to be casting mid-air. And I ask everyone in the group to have Slow Fall on them on the balcony, just to try and avoid needing healing, because we're going straight into a boss fight. Usually we'll send a rogue like up ahead to engage the boss quicker, so that we don't have to wait for any RP. And it is a little bit stressful as a healer to have just finished a boss fight. You're not full mana, and then everyone jumps down a balcony and is at like 70% health. You're running at the next boss, and you need to top everyone off. So that's just a little small kind of min-max there. It's not super significant, but it is more comfortable if you don't need to top the raid off. This boss
That makes a
fight
lot of
is
sense.
Yeah, this boss fight is not very complicated. The order is different every week and different for every region as well. So what we do here on EU is not going to be the same on NA for the same reset. But we try to kite the bosses to where the next boss spawns, so that we're not killing one boss and then spending 10 or 15 seconds running to the next one. It can be difficult, especially as Alliance, if you have a Paladin tank, because the Paladin tank needs to be in melee range of the boss to do significant threat to the boss. And you will see on the VOD here that the Paladin definitely doesn't have threat at all times. The warriors are definitely pulling off him. If you're Horde and you have a Warlock tank, he doesn't need to be in melee range of the boss to keep threat. He can just get snap threat and then immediately go out of melee range, and the boss will just follow him. So it
Mhm.
is quite. It is simpler to kite them, I think, with a Warlock tank. Doesn't matter if you're Horde or Alliance, to be honest, but most Alliance guilds will use a Paladin tank.
Is it dangerous if a
Um,
warrior has threat, or is it like pretty much no big deal as long as it's not constantly?
On this boss, it's not really a big deal, and the Paladin is really quick to regain the threat. So it's not really that big a deal on this boss. On other bosses, it would be a big deal.
I guess we can
Here
talk about the
between,
comp now, probably then. Like, so what other
yeah,
interesting things are going on? Like, I see you have the 4 druids. Those are 3 ferals, right? And then the
yeah,
boomkin healer.
yeah, we have 3 ferals and 1 restokin. So the restokin will try to just pump a lot on the Trust, baiting for Omen of Clarity, so that he can hurricane for free. And then, because he's a healer player, he will throw out wild growths when he feels that it's needed. We don't really need to call it out because he knows all the spots where there's going to be a lot of raid DPS. So yeah, we just kind of trust him to do that, and we do multiple runs. He does multiple raids a week, so we don't need to pre-plan it so much.
Yeah,
Um,
I getcha. I see there's the what you call it, the dot is on a lot of people. It's just really hard to control that, right? Like I've seen that before. It seems like it's not like the dragons are random with how they put the dot up, but it's really hard to make sure they don't just do it in a shitty spot right on the rip. This isn't like a big fuck up, right? This is kind of a normal thing that happens. It's like RNG, or am I wrong about that?
It's a little bit of both. As a healer, you fucking hate it because it's a lot of damage taking every second. And if you have like 4 people with a debuff, it is stressful to heal. But as a warrior player myself, like it is difficult to avoid when they're spawning. Like after they take that break to do the knockback, sometimes they will just be about to be turned and they'll just fucking spew all over the raid. Um, or the melee rather. So it can be difficult to avoid as a melee if you want to have high uptime. If you
Mm-hmm.
really want to avoid it, you can just chill, not engage the boss after his knockback super early, and you will avoid the debuff. But here we're going into the big pool. Like this is the big pool that makes or breaks the run. We're going to try and pull every single trash pack in between the 4th and the 5th boss in one go. And as you can see, it's not an insignificant amount of nameplates it's showing on my screen. And this is very stressful, especially to heal and especially to tank as well. You can see on my raid frames, our tank is sometimes being targeted by up to 20 mobs at the same time. There's no way that he can survive that. You can see a DPS warrior there being targeted by 22 mobs, and then he dies. He actually died from ghosts, though. He didn't misplay. He just got unlucky. Um, but yeah, this is what makes the run either go fast or go slow.
This is fucking crazy. So about those ghosts, I've noticed that if they crit you, you can get 2 shot, I think, literally regardless of what you are. Maybe as a tank it's 3 if you're like really tanky. So is that just
Yeah.
RNG with this strategy? Like there's no real way to mitigate it, I imagine.
No, not really. One ghost can one shot a caster. 2 ghosts can definitely kill a plate wearer really fast. And it gets really messy, especially on Alliance, because the female trolls are constantly throwing out fears. On Horde, you have the Tremor Totem, so usually you get a good or decent tick of the Tremor. She only feared for maybe 1 or 2 globals. But on Alliance, you don't have that, so this pull feels very stressful in that sense. What we try to do is have our Paladin healer, our Holy Paladin, use Righteous Fury, so that when the ghosts spawn, he's doing a bunch of threat to the ghosts. So hopefully most of them go and chase the Holy Paladin. He can then bubble when they reach him, and he can just stand and spam heals for like 10, 15 seconds maybe.
Oh, I didn't know the ghosts
Yeah.
work that way. So they do have a threat table. It just resets every once in a while so that the Holy Pally is able to get them all on him usually, and just sometimes they reset for a moment. Is that basically how it works?
When they spawn, he might be casting, so he won't get like threat on them until he finishes his cast. So sometimes if the ghosts are spawning in the raid or like on top of the melee, they will just have threat on the melee for one auto attack, right? Then the Paladin lands a heal and he rips threat.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. So when
Yeah.
people die, would you say that generally they go like they're 100 to dead instantly because a ghost
Yeah.
spawned right on them and insta auto attack them?
Yeah. Yeah. That
Okay.
is how it usually goes. We're also using like lip AoE taunts by the warriors. So like you can fuck that up, but it really shouldn't. It should only be really the ghosts that can kill you, because we're kiting all the trash around the traps anyway.
How
So it
many?
shouldn't be
So
auto
did every
attacking.
warrior do it then? Every warrior did a lip AoE taunt?
No, I think we only used 2 this time. We didn't feel like we needed more, but yeah, like
Do you
it
think you
just
want to use
varies. Like
more
we
next
just call
time,
them
or is
out.
it too much?
Yeah, we probably use more during the pull next time to try and stack them up better, but it isn't like a real make or break on that. But the tech is still being developed. Like we don't really know what the actual best move is, so we're gonna tweak something every reset from now until the end of the patch probably, to try and do it a bit smoother, a bit faster, a bit less, or a bit more efficient every reset.
Okay, cool. I see the tank right now. They've been like moving the boss towards the portal. Like this makes sense to me.
Yeah,
Are we about to see some more fucking hilariously large pulls in a second here?
yeah, yeah, for sure. We want to kill him exactly pretty much where he died, so we can clip the corner here for the truss that spawns. And then it's just you hold in the W key all the way to our line of sight spot that you'll see in a second.
Okay, cool. And are any of these mobs dangerous? Is there anything like people need to consider if they're trying to do big pulls like this?
Uh, Not really dangerous mobs. It's more line of sight that's important. And you'll see that we are using this corner here. Line of sight, that's mostly just so that we can start blasting sooner. You can use a pillar further down to line of sight. And you can see, like, we're really not line of sighting properly here. There are caster mobs, as you can see on the left of the screen, that should have gotten all the way around and into the bunch. But this is where having more mages can be very beneficial. With counterspell, they can really get those casters into the stack. And of course, like Living Bomb just fucking slaps, right? Like you can see one of the mages is doing 2k DPS on Trust there. I'm sure you can do more, but like for us, this is pretty good.
So is the only real issue with the caster mobs that they don't want to stack? Like, is that acid spit move actually anything to care about, or is it like no big deal
No,
generally?
the incoming damage is irrelevant. It's just about having them bunched so that we can cleave more and be more efficient with our cleave, so that they die, like all of them die faster. We're not really at a point yet where we feel comfortable pulling them into the boss, but that's something that we might definitely consider later.
Okay, cool. And then why'd you guys like wait a few seconds before engaging the boss here? Do you think you'd run straight in next time, or was there something that was important to swap there?
Uh, Nothing really important. I think we were just kind of unsure if everything was ready for the boss, like if we had good healer mana, if there was something that we needed to take care of. So we also want everyone to be within the portal, because we've had it happen before where 1 or 2 people get locked out outside because the boss was kind of ninja pulled.
Mm-hmm.
Because there isn't a real clear line where the door is. It's just a green portal that like closes the door. So we want to be careful of that as well. But next week we probably just full send into the boss immediately.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to double check. That makes a lot of sense. I imagine, like, especially since you're on the cutting edge when you're developing strats, it's not so simple as being able to like look at someone else's VODs and be like, oh, we definitely won't have a mana issue here. You need to like actually experience it to get probably
Yeah,
a clear picture.
yeah, for sure. And here you'll see the Paladin tank. He takes the trash here, and we're gonna give him a couple of globals to gather it, and then the bear tank is gonna charge the boss and tank the boss. The tank now is just tanking the trash pack in like on top of the casters, just building some threat, and then he grabs it into the melee stack for cleave.
Hmm.
But we are full sending the boss here, trying to get him to sleep as soon as possible. So that because he spawns like 2 ads, we want to cleave those ads with the ones that you see on the screen, so that we can be more efficient. As you can see, the skull has spawned there, the lumbering dreamwalker. Now we want to full send the trash mobs, and we've already done one phase of the boss before finishing the trash, right?
So the Dreamwalkers spawn, and as soon as the boss goes asleep, which makes him take less damage, then you're like, fuck it, that's when you get the ads. But you want to, if the boss is hittable, you're on the boss. That's basically what you're
Yeah,
doing here.
yeah.
Cool. And
It
then what
it
about
it
these ads?
feels
Are they just
very,
ignored?
yeah, just whatever. Just cleave a little bit. Doesn't really matter if they all of them stay up or all of them die. Um, like the mages will living bomb them. The warriors will use some cleave. Like they're using whirlwind anyway. But we're not really like focusing them at all. And you can also notice that the healers are in the melee stack. The paladin healer is using righteous fury, so he tries to grab healing threat on some of the whelps and some of the small ads, so they go away from the mages and the hunters and the warlock who are in the caster group.
What about the timing of this sleep thing? Is there any way, if you have like more DPS in a group, that you would be able to skip that mechanic entirely, or is that everyone's gonna have to eat the fucking jumping into the gas thing at some point? You think?
Good question. Very difficult to answer. I think the honest answer is it depends. Like there are so many variables to that. Like yeah, maybe if we had 19 warriors and one healer and they all wrecked the boss, maybe. But then a lot of the other parts of the run would be impossible.
Gotta be really interesting figuring out how to balance the comp considerations. Like this is you have three fucking melee groups, right? And is that a ret pally? I imagine with the box on their head, or is that the tank?
No, that's the tank. The paladin in group 2 is the rat.
Oh, okay, cool. And he's just sending it
Yeah,
the whole way to the next boss again, just pulling all the trash.
pretty much. You can see on the minimap like we're pinging kind of where we want to stop. So we're going to stop here at the line of sight spot, and then the hunters are going to pull in um, the remaining trash that's missing. But we want to get to this corner to line of sight so that any caster previously pulled is running towards us. The mages can just go fucking ham, right? They can just go full blast. And you can see like all the trash is on top of the traps now. This is where we can like full cleave everything. There's a bunch of
Mhm.
raid damage going out. You can see that the Restokin Druid is healing more than the Paladin now. There's ghosts all over the place. Like it's really hectic. There's so much stuff going on,
What are
and
the
the
skull
hunters should be
messages
pulling.
indicating? Like I see people are saying ghost on me. What's the skull mean when your guy types
Yeah,
that?
yeah. It's you're being targeted by a ghost.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's the same thing. How are you not getting threat
Yeah,
at all when you're like running to this spot, everyone's stacked up? Are you like using moves that generate less threat on purpose, or is like the Holy Pally somehow generating threat again, like you were talking about before?
yeah. The Holy Poly is just grabbing all the threat, pretty much.
Do they
Like
need
I
to
will
use
have
movement
a
speed to
ghost
get
on me.
ahead?
No, not really. Not really. I will get ghosts on me for a while, but they will always swap off me to the Holy Paladin before they reach me.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
And is this about to
And
be the
this
boss
is
then? Is there any more trash?
it's just this trash, but this was a little bit inefficient. We missed a few mobs in the room, so that we had to do a second pull here. Ideally, all of this trash that you just saw would have been killed with the previous big group, and we would already have summoned the boss. And you're gonna see here,
Nice.
like all the casters and healers get together for their stack, but we still have ghosts, so we kind of need to move a little bit because we didn't get a combat drop because the ghosts are still up. Like it's not fully efficient. Like this is not full German technology over here, but we're doing the best we can.
What are you guys gonna do about the blood plagues? Are the DPS gonna just run in front of the tank and still hit the boss?
No, we do it kind of like if you imagine a boss with legs, because this boss doesn't actually have legs. We have all the melee stacked together on one side. So like imagine if you had like a left leg, that's where the melee
Mm-hmm.
starts. And when they get blood, they just run through the boss to the other side so that they can still keep attacking him. And then the tank is in the front, right? Um, and
Okay, cool.
when the boss is doing his cast where he like removes the blood, you just go stand on the tank at that point. And if you're a caster, you go stand behind the tank for the same reason. You can see I get the blood here. So I just go stand here behind the tank. I don't want to be too close to him because I don't want to spread to the tank if he doesn't have it already, because you take damage from this. And when it gets removed, you just go back to your stack, right?
Oh, okay, cool, cool. So I see that there's like two stacks behind the boss. It's like KT kind of with the positioning
Yeah,
to deal with the blood
yeah,
plagues.
yeah, yeah.
What are some
It's
things you're gonna
very much
change for
like
next
KT
time?
in Nex for sure. Um, what are we going to change for the next time? I think we just need to get the trash pools more clean. For this boss specifically, I don't think we change a lot, to be honest. Like it's a very annoying boss because when you get MC'd, when you're getting dispelled, you can see here, I just dispelled this guy's Sunflower buff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's annoying, but it's the last boss, so you don't really care. You're going to re-up for the next raid anyway. Um, but that is definitely annoying. For the next raid, this boss is probably going to be very similar. Um, the trash pools is where you buy time, where you cut time down. So that's where we're focusing on.
Cool, cool. So definitely focus on the trash pulls if you want to have a good run like yours. That's the big thing.
Yeah, for sure.